Hi all, welcome to the Marquee Matchups for the 9th of January. Plenty to cover this week with league games and also a number of cup games to cover as well. So hopefully you find this useful as always guys. Smash likes as always, sub to the channel if you're new, follow me on Twitter at G is Legend. All the links are down below for playlists on the channel and social media links as always. We nailed 2 spot on, we got the Torino game right but we didn't expect the Bologna, and remember to check out everyone involved in the predictions league. So first shout of the week comes from France, being Nice versus Monaco. Now the Nice-Monaco was a league game coming up. It was a cup game last week for the 2nd of January's Marquee Matchups, so be fully aware of this. That's a good shout really in all honesty, but my feeling is, could it really get in? I feel, because there's not too many derbies for what I see looking at the timeline just now for France, this might be the one that they could go for, but obviously EA just seem to be picking games that have a bit of importance from a prime icons or other SBC perspective, so this may or may not drop, but be fully aware of it. It has a strong shout regardless due to Nice and Monaco being the Côte d'Azur derby. Now Liverpool, Man City and Spurs Everton are the 2 EPL games for this week. Liverpool Man City I'm giving a 7 out of 10. I really do fancy it, primarily because Liverpool have quite a lot of prime icon influence as it were, due to like Owen for example, but fairly straightforward to put together. I'm just sticking to the one league, being an all EPL team. Like Everton wise you could go like Stecklenburg, McCarthy, Morales, Sandro, these kind of players. For Liverpool you can go for pretty much like anyone, like Milner, Clavin, Monchengladbach, Karius, Ox, Ings. There's plenty to work with, so you wouldn't find yourself short. But as long as you've got a mix between like a mix of rares, mix of nations, even English players as well, doesn't hurt to be honest, especially due to the heavy influence of English based players at Liverpool like Milner, Henderson, Ings, Klein for example, Alexander Arnold. Real Madrid Villarreal is a shout, but the problem is, could it really feature? That is the actual problem. People seem to think this may or may not feature, but Madrid and Villarreal are like 4th and 6th roughly in the table, but it's not really a derby, it's just a big game in the league. But if they pick it, it's just because people will be like, why have they picked it? So that's why I've featured it this week guys. I don't fancy it, but I'd rather show it, that way you know that it's there as an option, because there isn't really much else between there to feature. Then the game between Sheffield United and Sheffield Wednesday has a very strong shout guys. I fancy it heavily as a 7 out of 10. Now you've got 2 like EFL games this week. You've got the one in Championship, but you also have one in League One, so there is a shout that one of them may feature. This one I fancy more because it's the Championship, and also it just keeps the prices high in the Championship really for the due to the League SBC. I'm thinking, as long as I've covered a higher overall, which in this case I've done to 75, I feel I'm covering my backs. As long as Billy Sharp could be quite a popular choice, so be aware of that. Then the Bundesliga, Koln and Monchengladbach is probably the one game I really do fancy this week. The reason being, Monchengladbach former player is Lothar Matthäus. If the prime icons theory, like SBC theory that I always refer on Twitter guys, if that is going to play a part, Cologne Monchengladbach should feature, also because it is a Rhineland derby as well, so there's 2 main reasons why it would feature. It wouldn't just be in for the sake of it, it would actually be in there for a genuine reason. Cologne, plenty of players to work with like Mera, the Spanish centre back, Cordoba, and then like Monchengladbach you've got like Herman, Ginter, and I'm trying to think who else you can kind of go for. And in the Saudi League is the Saudi El Clasico of Al Hilal Al Ittihad. This is another one. Al Hilal has had so many chances over probably the last 6 weeks or so, 6-7 weeks to feature, hasn't featured. Now I fancy it to happen. If it's not going to happen, it probably never will. But Al Hilal Al Ittihad, 7 out of 10 for fancying. For myself personally, I would say go for the golds like Britos, Al Soma, Karaba, Al Abed, Carbon, these kind of players. You'd find yourself easily sorting your squad out from there. It would then just be a case of supplement the team with silvers but there's plenty of goals in Al Hilal to work with. Then, as I said, League 1 of MK Dons versus AFC Wimbledon. It's hard to say specifically what they would do for an overall if they were to do it. Like with the Saudi, I've aimed for over 70. This one's probably around the 69-70 mark that I would do it as a highest. But as I've got a bronze left mid from AFC Wimbledon, he's like the only. I've got a couple of others, but I thought he was the only position I wanted to kind of throw in just to kind of, and it got rid of him. He probably won't go for much anyway. But 6 out of 10, this would be your alternative to go for from if you were to invest in it as well, because I would imagine Sheffield Wednesday and AFC Wimbledon games will see a lot of investment and a lot of hype, so be fully aware of that. And the last main route of the week is Benfica versus Braga. This is like, Braga's sitting I think 4th or 5th in the table, and Benfica's about sitting up quite tasty as well. But for me personally, I don't see this game happening for a number of reasons, mainly because of the other options there, and I feel Benfica Braga, they'll rather hold it out for other bigger games, especially since they had a chance last week with the Sporting game, but it never materialised, which was a bit of an odd one. But still, 5 out of 10, I thought I'd at least show it because it is a big game in Portugal, so hopefully that covers your back in terms of league games. Now the cup games I'm not going to feature, guys, as routes because there's quite a lot of games. You've got the 2 League Cup games, Bristol City, Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea. Amiens, PSG is a notable French League Cup game. You've got Barcelona, Celta, Vigo, to name, and like Valencia, Las Palmas. Porto versus Moreirense in the Portuguese League Cup, and Shrewsbury, Blackpool is a notable EFL trophy. So you've got 4 major cups in Europe that could potentially sneak in options as well. As I said, I'm not featuring them, I'd at least mention them to you so that way you at least are fully aware of them, because I know people would say that in the comments. So hopefully you find this useful, guys. Let me know in the comments down below what 4 you fancy for this week. Smash the like as always, sub to the channel if you're new, and I will catch you all later.